Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, The Glammed Rebel. I hope everyone's having a good day. Please like, comment, and subscribe for daily updates. A threatened grace leads to a medical erasure. On August 4th, 2025, we will be unraveling the shocking twists that have occurred on The Bold and the Beautiful. On The Bold and the Beautiful. It was a day filled with murmured threats, murky motivations, and long-forgotten transgressions that were brought back to the present day. Fans were drawn into a tightly knit web of deceit, emotional upheaval, and medical manipulation as the episode that aired on Monday, August 4th, 2025 unfolded. This web had the potential to rewrite the destiny of some of the show's most iconic characters. Dr. Grace Buckingham, who was previously a well-respected figure in the elite medical community of Los Angeles, was at the center of this episode. She was now deeply involved in a moral and legal problem that no one saw coming. The phone call that altered everything in the world. Beginning with Dr. Grace Buckingham sitting alone in her office at the hospital, the episode opened in a manner that was both quiet and foreboding. The tranquil walls resounded with a tension that was comparable to the tempest that was brewing inside of her. Upon hearing the phone ring, viewers immediately had the innate understanding that it was not a typical phone call. A voice could be heard on the other end of the queue. It was not visible, but it was obviously menacing. Grace's expression conveyed the message, even if we were unable to hear the caller's words. Fear and panic have set in. Remorse and anger. It was a desperate cry that hinted at previous entanglements that were now resurrecting, and she begged the person to leave her and her family alone. Grace's composure was thrown off since the person who called her understood just how to do it. This was not merely harassment. Rather, it was a deliberate, intimate, and potentially harmful act. Grace, a character who has always carried herself with calm and professionalism, revealed a new side of herself when she suddenly unraveled. It was not the self-assured doctor that we have encountered in the past few months. In addition to being a mother and a sister, she was a woman who was pushed into a corner. To whom and for what reason? The intern and the internist are present. Jameson Bess Belushi, who plays April, is the intern who entered the scene. Grace was so enraged that she met her innocent arrival with the rough edge of her rage. She had entered the room for no other reason than to present paperwork, and she was completely oblivious to the fact that she was entering the aftermath of a threat. Grace made a sudden decision, releasing her pent-up rage. Quickly apologizing, April then fled, clearly shocked by the experience. Grace then offered her apology, but by that point, the harm had already been done. Something had gone wrong within her, and the events that followed demonstrated that this was not merely a case of emotional instability. Rather, it was a premeditated reaction to a desire that had not been made available. After a few agonizing minutes of staring at the confidential medical file of Liam Spencer, she did the unimaginable and destroyed it. She sat in front of her computer, pulled up the file, and then deleted it. A few keystrokes were all that were required for Dr. Grace Buckingham to delete one of the most important patient records that was stored in the hospital system. A digital ghost took the place of tangible medical proof, one that would kick off a chain reaction that neither she nor the mystery caller would be able to control themselves. With the Buckingham scandal making a comeback, from the perspective of longtime watchers, the name Buckingham carries with it a significant legacy. The infamous baby switch scam that Dr. Reese Buckingham perpetrated, which caused Liam and Hope's lives to be torn apart, continues to be one of the most dreadful episodes in the history of Beverly Hills. Both fans and characters continue to be haunted by the so-called death of Beth and her eventual triumphant resurrection. And now, another Buckingham was once again changing the course of Liam's life. This time, it was not in the delivery room, but rather in the digital halls of the hospital's record system. Not a single person failed to recognize this disturbing parallel. There is still a lot of mystery surrounding Grace's motivations, but it was impossible to miss the symbolism. Another Buckingham trying to interfere with Liam's life. The revelation of yet another secret is on the horizon. Regrets that Bill Spencer has run in death. There was a different kind of storm developing on the other side of town. Bill Spencer, who had always been respected as a powerful patriarch and a morally complicated tycoon, was struggling with his own personal issues. During the episode, Bill thought on his previous actions, specifically his relationship with Liam and the events that led to his son's near-death experience. This provided us with a rare opportunity to be vulnerable. Worst nightmares tormented him. His thoughts were filled with recollections of a violent debate he had with Liam, which was rife with pride and numerous misconceptions. When Bill was confronted with the horrific realization that he might have lost his son for good, his stoicism began to disintegrate. In an effort to make amends, Bill had covertly organized and paid for Liam to go through an experimental medical procedure that finally resulted in the preservation of his life. At what cost? An astounding $1 million to be exact. However, the emotional cost was significantly more significant than the financial one. Bill displayed a genuinely human side, one that was full of sorrow, guilt, and love, despite the fact that he used to be so brazen. He also displayed relief that was not warranted. Assuming that Luna had passed away, Bill concluded that the chapter had come to an end. Nevertheless, he was unaware of the fact that Lee, Luna's mother, was observing, waiting, and plotting on her own. The storm had not yet gone. It was only just beginning to gain momentum. Finn, the detective, appearing. It is possible that Dr. John Finn Finnegan began the episode in the capacity of a physician. Yet, by the time it was over, he had taken on a quite different role, that of a detective. His apprehension over Liam's amazing recovery stemmed not only from scientific research, but also from a sense of distrust. Something didn't seem to fit together. It was his trip to the Spencer estate that served as the initial breadcrumb. The appearance of Liam was healthier than anyone had anticipated. Despite the fact that the therapy was successful, Finn was quite uneasy about the manner in which it had been administered, particularly after Bill casually disclosed the $1 million price tag that was associated with it. In his explanation of where the money went and what it was used to pay for, Bill was evasive. Finn only needed to hear that for him to realize that something was wrong. Malpractice in the medical field and missing files. Finn's instincts began to take over after he returned to the hospital. The fact that the file was absent was a warning sign that he encountered when he went to access Liam's documents in order to obtain additional information. It's gone. Abolished. Grace was not immediately confronted by him, though. He did not speak. Rather, he allowed the quiet to speak for itself. He brought up the expense of the therapy in a casual manner, meticulously observing Grace's response with the precision of a surgeon. She fumbled, with obvious signs of nervousness. Already, Finn was constructing a mental case for himself. The fact that he was able to detect inconsistencies and interpret the actions of others made him a formidable adversary, particularly for someone like Grace, who had never been taught to lie in a convincing manner. It was clear from the gleam in his eyes that he was interested in her. What Grace could be hidden from view? The question is, what exactly is going on with Grace? There are a number of hypotheses that are circulating among the audience. However, with regard to the occurrences of the episode, there are a few alternatives that stand out. One possible interpretation of the phone conversation is that she is being blackmailed. It is possible that someone possesses embarrassing information about her or a loved one, something that is powerful enough to force her to compromise her ethics against her will. 2. A cover-up for Reese. Is it possible that her brother is still involved and is trying to influence the events from a distance? It is possible that Grace is removing Liam's paperwork in order to conceal a more serious medical scam that Reese is orchestrating. 3. Safeguarding Luna's legacy. If Luna's death was a fabrication or a staged event, Grace may be interested in protecting her daughter's memory, or she may be concealing the reality that she survived. Regardless of the truth, Grace is currently at the center of a conspiracy that is rapidly unraveling, and the ramifications of this conspiracy could not only destroy her career, but also reignite the worst traumas that Liam has ever experienced in his life. Complete reversal. A couple of the Spencers and the Buckinghams. This particular episode did not merely focus on drama that occurred in the present day, Rather, it utilized years of storytelling in order to create a poetic sense of continuity. Liam Spencer, who was previously a victim of Reese Buckingham's baby switch, is once again caught in the crosshairs of Buckingham's lies. Clearly, the irony is harsh and cannot be ignored. Despite the fact that Grace has always made an effort to live in contrast to her brother's decisions, which are ethically reprehensible, she is now repeating history. The Spencer family may experience yet another round of heartbreak as a result of her acts, regardless of whether they were chosen or forced upon them. Nevertheless, there is also a more profound tragedy at play here. Perhaps Grace is under the impression that she is safeguarding someone or something that is more important than herself. In that case, it portrays her not as a villain, but rather as a lady who is extremely conflicted and is forced to make a choice that is impossible. Whatever comes after this. When we consider the days that lie ahead, the plot shifts in a number of intriguing ways, including the following. Finn's investigation progresses forward. Now that his suspicions have been validated by the records that have gone missing, Finn will surely continue to look into the matter. You should be prepared for a comprehensive investigation, one that might potentially put his medical license in jeopardy. Errors made by Bill may assume that he has resolved all of the issues that have been lingering, but Lee's quiet rage and the possibility that she's aware of what actually occurred with Luna will bring about consequences that were not anticipated. The exposure of Grace's faces. Would Grace be willing to tell the truth if Finn were to corner her? Or is she going to take a chance on everything and double down? A family heritage destroyed by fire. The reputation of the Buckinghams may never be restored to its former glory. Is it possible that there will be no more of their influence in Los Angeles after this? Is it possible that another individual, such as Zoe or even Reese, may reappear in order to maintain the cycle? Not to be confused with. Concluding remarks. A storyline that packs a punch. An excellent example of a slow burn narrative was presented in the episode of The Bold and the Beautiful that aired on August 4th. It did not rely on startling twists, but rather simmered with suspense, character development, and moral ambiguity instead. The implications of Grace Buckingham's fall from grace, pun intended, have only just begun, and they have the potential to extend across all of the show's canvas. With Detective Finn taking the initiative, Bill struggling with guilt, and Grace teetering on the brink of collapse, the narrative of the 2025 season of Big Brother has been given a fresh lease on life. And it's only Monday. Stay connected with the Glammed Rebel for all the latest updates, spoilers, and deep dive recaps. See you in the next video. Stay safe and healthy. May God keep you safe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell button for daily updates.